Today, the moon shifts from Scorpio into Sagittarius, which helps us begin to get a little bit of perspective on the intense energies of yesterday's lunar eclipse in Scorpio. I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro Vibe for Saturday, May 6th. And today we are looking at the moon shifting into Sagittarius. We're beginning the waning half of the moon cycle. So the moon went from new to full yesterday, culminated with a full moon that was in fact a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, bringing themes of change, of transformation, of looking deep inside to ask how we are aligned or not with our deeper truth, maybe where we need to make some choices, some changes, some shifts in how we think about things, how we look at things that are based on a deeper truth or recognition of something that may have come to the surface and come into our awareness where it was previously not something that was on our radar necessarily. So these intense things, and yesterday I shared 5 ways to, 5 things you should definitely do on the Scorpio lunar eclipse. So if you missed that, make sure you watch that video, because you can still do those things today, and it might help you to understand a little bit more about what's been going on and how to make the most of it, why things feel so intense right now, and how that might be showing up for you in your life. And then, of course, last Sunday, I did a video also on yesterday's lunar eclipse, giving you a little perspective on all the different astrological alignments that were happening during that eclipse and what they mean, and how they all relate to themes of change and shakeup and bringing shift and change to the status quo. So really intense, potent lunar eclipse yesterday. And then today we start out the day with the moon still in Scorpio, really still in this full moon energy, as you know, the light of the moon is still almost completely full. So we're really still feeling that, basking in that light, and that light that was blocked temporarily through an eclipse. And an eclipse is just an alignment, right? It's an alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth in such a way that the moon or the earth lines up to temporarily block the sun's light from reaching the moon. And so something is being fully illuminated during a full moon, and then the eclipse is temporarily blocking that light. But if you think about how everything has to line up just exactly right, like to achieve that shadow, the earth's shadow across the moon, or the moon or the earth blocking the light that is reflected from the moon, that things have to be all lined up, and that alignment, right? It's like when your spine is aligned, and therefore the energy can flow more easily through your body. It's the same thing with the planets. When the planets are lined up, energy can flow through, and something can shift. And that is how we get these aha moments of like, oh, wow, I didn't think of it that way, or I didn't realize that. And so energy can flow through and come into our awareness in ways that it's harder for it to do that when we don't have the same alignments. So that eclipse energy is now just beginning to wane, with the moon waning and the very beginning of that waning half of the moon cycle. And so with the still having the Scorpio energy of intensity and transformation and feeling things that, it's like we can't escape our feelings. We're just in it. We're stewing in the broth of transformation, and there's nothing we can do to change that. So we might as well, right, be one with it. And so, but today we begin the day that way, and then the moon goes into Sagittarius, and that will bring a little bit of a different feeling. So moon shifting into Sagittarius means that we're shifting into the energy of getting a bigger perspective. So a little bit more of a bird's eye view of what's been going on, right? A glimpse of being able to start understanding what's been transpiring and why and what it means for us, and connecting with a bigger story of who we are, how we fit into the bigger picture, and how, this week, this moment in time fits into the bigger picture of our lives. And so just the very beginning glimpse of starting to be able to see that bigger story and understand how what's been transpiring in your life in recent days might fit into that bigger picture, and also what changes that have been happening, what they mean for who we are and how we go forward from here. So the meaning of some of these shifts and transformational energies. So that is coming. And as the moon goes through Sagittarius, we'll kind of develop this bigger perspective, this ability to make meaning out of what's been happening. It's just so amazingly beautiful the way that the planets tell an ongoing story of, how they move from one energy to the next, and it builds on the previous energy. And we go deep into the Scorpio energy where we just feel things, and it's just energy, and we can't explain it or contain it. And then we go from that watery energy into Sagittarius, which is fiery. And it's like, no, I'm going to understand this. I'm going to make meaning out of it. I'm going to begin to get that perspective that allows me to tell the story of what's been happening, that allows me to describe my experience and put it into words, and put it in, connect the dots, right, in ways that we can see the bigger picture. So that is the moon's shift into Sagittarius, and that's going to be with us for the next couple of days as the moon goes through Sagittarius, and then will on Monday shift into Capricorn, and into some of that energy of Earth. And what do we do about it, right? Now that we can understand a little more and tell a story, how do we put that into form? How do we use that for our planning and building foundations for how we want to go forward from here? So Capricorn is where we build things. It's where we build a legacy and make a plan. So that is coming next. And we're, of course, beginning the waning half of the moon cycle. So we're integrating, we're digesting, we're processing what was and has been a very intense moon cycle with 2 eclipses, and the intense energy of the Scorpio lunar eclipse taking us deep into ourselves. And currently we have Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio, the modern ruler of Scorpio, and it is retrograde in Aquarius. And so tomorrow I'm going to share a little bit more with you about that bigger picture of what it means when an outer planet like Pluto is retrograde, how that shows up in our lives, what it means for us and our soul's journey, and how to understand our own transformational process in terms of what Pluto is leading us through, right? The god of the underworld is taking us through a journey. And what does that look like? What does it mean? How does it show up for us in our lives? So come back tomorrow. I'll have more on Pluto retrograde and what it means for you, and what to expect with Pluto and our soul's evolutionary journey, both personally and in the collective, and what it means for all of us. So looking forward to sharing more with you tomorrow, and take some nice time for yourself. I had some great tips yesterday how to work with this energy of this intense Scorpio eclipse. So one of them was to take some time for yourself. So make sure you do that and honor this process, which truly is sacred. And when we treat it as such, it supports us in growing in our power and our ability to make a difference from a place of truth. All right. Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Ormes. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here and sharing, and for your comments. I will see you next time. Bye for now.